Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're at Siggraph 2019. This is R.W. Hawkins from Panasas, which is a storage company that's here at Siggraph. They have products that are suited for people working in visual effects, along with other markets as well. But why don't we jump right in to the product that people here at Siggraph would probably get most use of?
Yeah, sure. So Panasas is announcing the ActiveStor Ultra. It's our brand new product, basically leveraging the last 10 years of our industry expertise. It's commodity based, which is unusual for Panasas. Typically, Panasas has been only appliance, our own hardware. So we're really excited about it. It's seeing great adoption across multiple verticals, including VFX, which of course we're celebrating here at Siggraph.
Yeah. So, and it's Linux based.
Correct. So Linux has a great history in the VFX space. Direct Flow, which is our client component, installs on Linux, provides really high-speed parallel access between the server and the client.
Okay. So how would you differentiate yourself from other? There's a lot of storage options out there. What makes Panasas different?
Certainly technology first. I mean, historically we're a high-performance storage company, so we're always concerned about speed. How to scale speed to very large render farms is always a challenge, but it can't come at the cost of manageability, reliability. So we kind of focus on those three tiers. We call our storage frustration-free. There's lots of frustrations in the storage world right now, whether it's installing it, getting it up and running, solving performance problems. So we try to solve all those while keeping it easy to manage.
Right, yeah, you want to make it easy. You want them to be able to create and not worry about if it's being stored.
Correct, because in a sense, customers are trusting a piece of their vital workflow to Panasas. It's got to be reliable, it's got to be fast for them so their artists can get work done.
Makes sense. Now, speaking of artists, Whiskey Tree, are they in Hollywood?
No, they're not. So they're actually up in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, okay, great. So they're a visual effects house.
Correct.
That's what they do. And
Yep.
recently they've been growing and they installed some of your product. Can you talk
Right.
a little bit about working with them and what they do?
Sure. Yeah, so pretty standard visual effects company. A lot of Linux, both on the render farm and artist desktops. They had a reasonable sized facility, but they got some new projects in, and they're like, well, we need to replace a lot of our infrastructure and move, and we need to do it while keeping artists busy. So that was a big task.
Right, they didn't want to be offline.
Correct. Yeah.
So how much did they install? What are they using?
The Panasas they're using is probably about a half a petabyte of Panasas storage.
And they're working in spots or TV episodics? What kind of
So I believe they're primarily focused on blockbuster big movies.
Oh wow, okay, very cool. Now VFX is Linux based, but there are some people that have Mac workflows.
Yep.
Do you guys offer something for them?
We
as
do.
well?
So our Direct Flow client runs on Linux and also Mac OS. We of course support Windows via SMB, and a typical VFX shop you kind of see all three of those. Render farms, Linux is probably the preferred OS on render farms. A lot of the VFX tools here at Siggraph also run on Linux, so artist desktops on Linux is pretty common as well. But of course there's always a smattering of Macs and of course Windows, so we support all three.
Is that the case with Whiskey Tree as well?
Correct, yep, so pretty standard render farm on Linux, artist Linux desktops, and then some Windows and Macs. So.
Okay, anything I haven't asked that's important for people to know about Panasas and your products?
I think one of the things we're really pushing is we have this Ultra announcement. We're doing right now a short promo petabyte for $150,000, which is pretty unheard of in the industry. So that's kind of our big kickoff for Ultra, which is going to ship here in 2 months or so.
Okay, and how can people find out about that? Where can they go?
Sales@panasas.com is probably the best.
All right, very cool. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
I appreciate
Good to
it.
talk with you.